And March is International Women's Month, so today we put the spotlight on Dolly De Leon and her achievements in the film industry, not just here, but around the world as well. Dolly tells us about her journey in how she got started as to where she is now and how life has been like after her historical feats.
Recently, it's been really real, and it's been fun. It's been great. I've been having a really good time compared to before na kinakabahan ako, or it's so stressful, but now I'm just really enjoying it. I'm loving it.
We're talking about the heydays, we're talking about all the glory, but it was never always like this. I mean, you've been in the business,
No.
as we've said, for, several years. Of course, you've had awards and Infamous, and now we're just reaping all of the glories. But I would like to ask you, was there ever a time prior to this time that you said, maybe my career is I'm done for, before we
Yeah.
are enjoying the second wind?
Yes, it's happened many times. It's not easy being an actor, First of all, it doesn't pay very well, and the waiting is crazy. There are times there where I would not have work for weeks. Sometimes it would reach up to months where I don't have work at all, and it's not easy. So there are really many times when I thought of quitting. But instead of quitting, what I decided was to see if I can do other things so that I can still continue doing what I love, which is acting, because I knew that if I would quit acting, I would be miserable. I mean, I would have money, I would be making money, but then I wouldn't be happy. So, and that's really why I stuck to it, because I was able to find other sources of income. And hopefully now I can really do acting full time and not have to do other stuff.
But now with the success, I mean, that you've had, I remember that when I interviewed you, yung parang when you were still going through the auditions and all of this for the Triangle of Sadness, but I said, you just say yes. I'm just gonna do it. You never know what's gonna come my way. Yes na lang, di ba? Now that you're in this position and roles and offers are also coming to you now left and right, how do you choose the right one? Are you more choosy now, or are you going to say, how do you go through and weed all of these things? It's hard to do everything all at once.
Yes, I'm definitely more choosy now. I really get to, first of all, choose the material that I work with, and I one of the first things I ask is who's the director, because it's very important to me which filmmaker I'm working with, and who the cast is. Of course, that's very important. Unlike before, when I would just accept work left and right, and I think that's really important now because I'm not getting any younger. So I do have a 10-year-old, and I would like to spend more time with her, and this is really a great opportunity for me to do that because I don't have to work all year round. I can accept work, do a little work, and then take a break, spend time with my family, and then get back on the horse and do other things. So that's the really good thing about this. I can choose now, and I don't have to break my back working all the time.
Well, that's really nice that you can, because you are at that point in your career, no. Dolly, another thing that I'd like to ask you, I mean, as a woman, was there ever a point wherein you felt that you might not have been given the opportunity because you're a woman? I mean, in terms of in the local or even international film scene, was there ever a point?
It that's actually a good question because I don't think I ever really felt that because I was just used to the culture. It was just part of it. It's really part of it that women don't get cast as much. One, middle-aged women don't get cast as much as women who are younger, and especially women like me who are struggling actors without a name. So it was just, for me, it was normal. It was the culture, and it sadly I got used to it, and it was just something that I learned to live with.
Okay. And you still, I guess with our culture, yes, that is prevalent. Do you think it will ever change?
I think it will. For as long as, we put stories out there that highlight women like me. it will change. It can change because alam mo kung tutuusin, mas heavily populated with women ang Philippines kaysa sa lalaki. There are more women. So that means that there are more women who are really, hungry for these stories to be told about them. So yeah, it definitely can happen. And a lot has changed actually with our film industry in the Philippines since the pandemic. The stories now are more diverse. There are more inclusive stories about women. So yeah, there is hope. There is a chance for that to happen.
I mean, a lot of things have been changing, maybe slowly, but they're still moving forward. I mean, a lot of Filipinos have been getting recognized, in various film festivals, all over the world. And you being one of them, tell me, where are we in terms of the global stage? Where are we Filipinos?
Well, we're not really, I don't think we're doing very well. We're actually a little bit in the dark right now because it's really hard to be exposed into that world, the global stage, because first of all, we lack funding. And the big corporations, usually they don't really put the money where it should go. They focus more on hiring actors who charge a little bit too much. Therefore, the budget of a film mostly goes to the fee of these actors rather than to the budget of the actual production. So that's really unfortunate. But I think that if we get the support of the government, of the Film Development Council of the Philippines or the NCCA, I think that we stand a good chance. And hopefully, because of what's been happening lately to us, their eyes will be open and they'll see it as an opportunity for them to break through in the global stage.
We do have the talent. I mean, I've been interviewing
Yes,
nonstop all of these accomplished Filipinos, male and female, abroad. We have the cinematographer for the whale. I mean, you guys are just everywhere. I mean, it is incredible, the talent that we have, as Filipinos. That being said, you are now in London, and as I understand, you are going to go to the States. Tell me a little bit about the projects that we can expect from you, internationally and also back home. Are you going to come back home and do more films with us here?
I definitely am. I don't want to go back there and work. There's still so many beautiful stories that we have. I have scriptwriter friends who have a lot of really beautiful stories, and I think that given the position that we are at now, that it would give them a chance for their voices to be heard. So it's a very exciting time to work in the Philippines.
Yes.
Next month, I'm going to the States. I'm doing 2 films. So the first film is by Paul Feig. He's the director of Bridesmaids. So it's a comedy. And then after that, I'm going to the Oscars, syempre, to support our director because we're nominated for 3 categories. Best film, screenplay,
May, do you have a dress
and
now
director.
for the Oscars?
Wala pa. I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, options are there. Yeah, there are options, but I'm still thinking about it. So nothing's set in stone yet. Pero meron
All
yan.
right, okay,
And
we're
then
gonna wait for the pictures.
Yeah.
to come out.
Yeah. I'm shooting one more film. That's the film with Jason Schwartzman. It's Between the Temples, and that's on the 3rd week of March. And then after that, I'm going back home to Manila in April.
Okay, so I understand back in Manila, you do have 2 Cinemalaya entries. Is that right? Did I read that correctly?
Yes. That's correct. Yes. And we're done filming with that. So it's now in post. Those 2 films are in post.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you
Yes.
also have another film. What's that? The Keys to the Heart? Is that also soon
Keys
to
to
come
the
out?
Heart, yeah, that's Reality Studios. Yeah, that's a studio production. And also another film, Salome, which is an independent film directed by Teng Mangansakan. So that will be an entry to other film festivals.
Now, when did you sneak all of these in? In between all of these
last December,
awards that you've been getting?
last November 2022, and Salome, I did that in March of early March before Cannes. But it's still
Okay.
in post. That's why matagal. But yeah, matagal na yan. I worked on those matagal na, especially Salome, which was early 2022 pa. Yeah.
Okay, from all of the awards or the nominations, what is there one that's like more special than the other?
I have been exposed to a lot of critics, and they're not always the best. They're not always the nicest. But the critics in LA, they were very kind and very sweet and received us very warmly. And that's why I think LAFCA to me is really, I believe, the most special of all the awards that I got. But also Middleburg was a very special award because the Middleburg Film Festival was founded by a woman, a Black woman.
Oh,
So that
okay.
makes it even more special. And Middleburg is it's a 10-year-old festival, and they really honor, the quality of work. So those two are very, very special.
I mean, a lot of firsts for you, Dolly, from the BAFTAs to, the Golden Globes. I mean, a lot of these things have fallen on your lap. And since it is Women's Month, what for you, being all that you've gone through, what for you would be an empowered woman, an empowered Filipina woman?
An empowered Filipina woman is someone who stands up for her right as a woman, her right to be heard. She stands up for her children's rights. She fights for people who have no voice. And she doesn't necessarily have to express her thoughts through art. She can express her thoughts through conversations that she has with men and women. It's really all about how we present ourselves and standing up for, equal rights between the two genders, or, well, there are more than two genders now, between all genders. So it's really all about that. A woman who will always put the human race ahead of anyone else. Because, if you think about it, our religion is love, and our race is human. We're the human race. There's no such thing as, well, people have created that, different ethnicities and different nationalities. But if you think about it, we are all just one race, the human race, and our religion is love. And a woman who stands by that is a woman of power.
And you are definitely one of that, Miss Dolly. You have enough love to go around, and more so only because you've been there, done that. You know what it's like from both sides, and here you are. You also are very much involved in fundraising activities.
Yes, I've been very active with fundraising activities for a long time now. It started with a group called Ladies Who Launch. We're four friends, Zena Bernardo, Judith Albano, and Jasmine Ong, and we always do our best in helping our communities, especially during the pandemic. And now we're doing Project Hulmahan, which is a project where we commission artists to create artworks on hulmahans, or what you call shoe lasts, the wood that they use to mold the shoes, which we actually got the idea from observing these people in the communities cooking their food, and their firewood were the hulmahans, because two shoe plants in Marikina closed down. So we figured, rather than burn all these shoes, which is, part of our culture, we figured raise money, commission artists, and all the proceeds will go to communities where we will provide kitchens to feed families, and produce where they can cook meals, and also as a disaster response system that we will have in case of natural disasters, where families who are displaced will surely have a hot meal when they wake up in the morning, or young dalagitas will have sanitary pads readily available for them. And we're launching the project in March, and we've so far gotten a very good response, and we're just looking forward to being able to share all of the proceeds to families that need us.
Wonderful. See, you are so loved, so blessed. I don't know how many hands you have with all the things that you're doing. Incredible talaga, Dolly. Before I let you go, lastly, what would you say would be your biggest dream right now?
My biggest dream right now is for the country to really come together and work together to make it a better place. I'm just so tired with the divisiveness and the way we're so divided, and our views about the world is affecting our relationships. At the end of the day, it's all about supporting each other and helping each other. And that's really my wish, that we all just come together and help make our country and this world a better place. That's all.
Well, words of wisdom from Dolly De Leon. Thank you so much, as always, for spending your precious time with us here on New Day in CNN Philippines. All the best to you. We're always rooting for you wherever you may go, and you know that the Filipinos will be behind you 100%. Maraming salamat, Dolly. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Christine. You've been there from the start and you're always special to me.
From
Thank
the
you so much
start.
for having me.
From the start.